Hi everyone, I am Simon and welcome to Simon Tips. Today let's talk about something called chat control. It's a new law that could change how we use messaging apps in EU. What is chat control? Chat control is officially called Child Sexual Abuse Regulation or CSAR. The goal is to stop online child abuse. But there is a problem. It would make apps like WhatsApp and Telegram scan your private messages and files. Even encrypted messages could be checked before you send them. So, who created and who supported? The law was introduced by Ylva Johansson, a EU Commissioner for Home Affairs. Some countries supported, like France, Spain, and Italy. Other countries like Germany, Austria, the Netherlands are against it. They say it violates privacy and weakness encryption. Why critics are so much worried about this particular law? Here is why. Everyone messages could be checked. Private chats might become less secure. AI scanners can make mistakes and flag innocent messages. People might stop talking freely online because they feel watched. So, even thought this law is meant to protect kids, it could hurt our privacy. The current status of late 2025. This law is not official yet. Some EU countries are still deciding if they support it or not. If it passes, other countries might copy it and do the same things. That means it could affect everyone's privacy, not just in Europe. Protecting children online, it's important, of course, but scanning everyone's messages isn't the answer. Stay with me because next we are going to find out who is Ylva Johansson, the person behind this law, and why it's matters to all of us. So who is she? Ylva Johansson was born on February 13, 1964, in Huddinge, Sweden. Before going into the politics, she studied at Lunds University and Stockholm Institute of Education. She actually started her career as a teacher, teaching maths and physics and chemistry. This early experience working with young people helped shape her interests in education, social issues, and of course, public service. Ylva entered national politics at young age. In 1994, she became a Swedish minister for school, where she worked to improve educational system. Later, from 2004 to 2006, she served as a minister for health and elderly care, focusing on healthcare and welfare for elderly citizens. Then, from 2014 to 2019, she became a Minister of Employment and Integration. In this role, she worked on important topics like job creation, labor rights, and helping immigrants to integrate into Swedish society. Her long experience in the different ministries show her deep focus on education, welfare, and employment, and also social justice, strengthening EU cooperation between police and security agencies, protecting people from human trafficking and smuggling. One of her biggest achievements was helping push forward the EU Pact of Migration and Asylum, the major reform to create a more unified, fair system for heading migrants across Europe. She often said that Europe must balance security with human rights, protecting people while also protecting the most vulnerable. After finishing her terms as a commissary, Ylva Johansson was appointed to the EU Special Envoy for Ukraine in the European Union. Her mission is to help the millions of people who fled Ukraine because of war. She worked on making sure they have access to education, job, healthcare, and help them to integrate into European communities. Coordination support between EU countries, planning long term solutions for their safety and future. She also supports the creation of the Unity Hubs, centers that help Ukrainians to get information, legal help, and support for daily life. Throughout her career, Ylva Johansson focused on a few clear goals: helping people in need, especially refugees and vulnerable groups, building a safer communities, promoting fair migration policies, and strengthening cooperation across Europe. And that's the story of Ylva Johansson, a teacher who became one of the Europeans' most influential leaders. From education and welfare in a Swedish security and migration across Europe, she continues to shape policies that affect millions of people on the continent.
So I went outside for my morning coffee in a town, and I just realized like how often people are using phone every day, like even when they are just walking somewhere or checking them time, or maybe sending a picture, voice message, anything, videos. So imagine the side scanning or client side scanning would give access to some third party or some government to see your stuff. What are you doing? Well, I feel really stupid to talking to camera and people are just watching me, but that's the way it is.
Encryption means the message is turned in a secret code. Only you and the person you send it to can read it. When you send a message on apps like WhatsApp or Signal, your message is encrypted, so nobody can read it. Not the app company, not the hackers, not the government. Think of it like a lockbox. Only the receiver has the key. That's how encrypted messages stay private. The EU chat control proposal want to protect children online. To do this, it may require messages to be checked for illegal content. Because encrypted messages can be read after sending, the idea is to scan messages before encryption directly on your phone. This is called side scanning or client side scanning. Client side scanning means your device look at content locally before it leaves your phone or computer. The system check for no harmful or illegal material, and only if there is a match, it does alert service or take action. The goal is to catch harmful material early without scanning everything on server. If messages are scanned before encryption, messages may not be fully private. Innocent people could be flagged. Encryption lost its original meaning. In United States, there was a law called Patriot Act. It was introduced after 9/11 to fight terrorism. The law allowed governments to monitor communication for safety reasons. Over time, people say it went too far and affects privacy of ordinary citizens. Some parts of the Patriot Act were later changed or limited. Encryption protects privacy. Chat control want to protect children. History show that security laws can be extended over time. That's why many people are asking, how do we protect our children without losing our private communication?
So imagine there will be an update inside your Android, and that update will allow the government to monitor what you have inside your phone, your pictures, your messages, videos, and even files.
In 2025, Denmark held the rotating presidency of the Council of the EU. That means Denmark was temporarily leading negotiation on EU laws. During this time, Denmark's Justice Minister Peter Hummelgaard pushed a new version of a chat control proposal back onto the EU agenda. So, not a Danish national law, but a European law Denmark tried to revive. The push happened in the second half of 2025, especially during the important EU meeting in Fel. The major debate was accepted around October 2025. Denmark said its top priority was the protecting children online. The idea was to give tech companies a stronger tool to detect and report abusive material. Supporters argue it would help fight serious crimes happening in a private digital space. Scanning private chat feels uncomfortably close to surveillance. Privacy advocates, technology experts, digital rights activists, and many EU countries warned that the proposal could seriously undermine digital security. They argued it would weaken encryption and make private messages less secure for everyone, and set a dangerous precedent by expanding government access to personal communication. After heavy criticism across Europe, Denmark scanned the proposal back. The most controversial part, mandatory scanning of a private messages, was dropped. Instead, the scanning would be only voluntary for platformers. So while Denmark reintroduced the proposal where the original chat control idea was basically paused or softened by the end of 2025. The debate isn't over. A new version of the law may still appear, but the forced scanning plans is currently off the table. Across Europe, governments are tightening control over what people can say online. Supporters call it safety, critics call it control. In the UK, thousands of people already been arrested over social media posts using existing communication laws. And with EU digital regulation, spreading across platforms. Many people are asking, could this go farther? And it is a good idea. In the UK, social media arrests are mainly made under laws like the Communication Act 2003 and the Malicious Communication Act 1988. Those laws allow police to investigate posts that are considered threatening, abusive, or grossly offensive. The issue is that terms like offensive or harmful are not always clearly defined in a law that give authorities wide discretion over online speech. This is not theory. These laws are actively used today. The European Union has gone farther with laws like Digital Service Act or DSA. The DSA pressure platforms to remove content quickly, monitor riskier speech, and cooperative closely with regulators. Well, those rules target companies, not users directly. The effect reach everyone. When platforms change how they moderate content, users feel it first. Even after Brexit, the UK is still affected. Social media companies don't run separate system for every country. They often apply the strict rule globally. That means the EU regulation can shape what UK users are allowed to post, even though the UK did not vote on those laws. This increased reporting, moderation, and in some cases, police involvement. Most people agree that real threats, harassment, and abuse should be illegal. The concern is what happened when law became too broad. A weak rule can be enforced inconsistently. They can shift with politics. They can be used against ordinary people, not just criminals. This creates a chilling effect. People self censor not because they are doing harm, but because they don't know where the line is. Once government gain the power to define acceptable speech online, that power rarely shrinks. Each new law is justified by safety. Each update expands enforcement. Over time, tools designed to stop harm became tools that manage speech. History show this pattern again and again. This isn't about defending abuse. It's about protecting the space for disagreement, criticism, and debate. The UK already show how speech law can lead to arrest. The EU model show how regulation can scale across borders. The real question is who decide what is acceptable and what happened when that change?